I have 3 children, by the way. I have 3 children.
You won't believe what Prophet Kanyari just revealed to the public after the breakup, after the scandals, after Betty Bayo married another man. He has finally spoken, and what he has said has shocked everyone. He has never stopped loving her, not for one day, not even after she moved on. And here is the part that will break your heart. Her pictures are still all over his house. He admits that he can't take them down. He admits that he still looks at her every single day. But that is not all. Wait until you hear what happened next. Prophet Kanyari reveals that he has been haunted by nightmares, seeing Betty Bayo in his dreams, waking up shaken, tormented and unable to sleep. Then, out of nowhere, he drops a bombshell that no one saw coming. He confirms that he has another daughter, the same age as Sky, a child the public has never seen. And now, for the very first time, he says that he is ready to introduce her to the world. Tears, secrets, and a love that never died. This is the shocking truth behind Prophet Kanyari and Betty Bayo. And trust me, what you're about to hear changes everything.
Sasa watu wanashangaa Kanyari bado unashikilia picha ya Betty Bayo. Nimekataa naye. Nakataa na Betty Bayo kabisa. I loved her. I loved her so much. I loved her so much. And I will love her forever.
What happens when love refuses to let go after death? And what happens when a man stands before the nation and confesses his feelings that shake the entire foundation of everything we thought we knew?
Firstborn and my secondborn. Miss Jaza sana. But I have 3 children, by the way. I have 3 children. Watatu nilizaa na yeye mtu mwingine. Huyo bado sijamleta live. Nilimleta by the way. Nishamuonesha. Ni single watu watatu.
This is the story of a love that transcended separation, a love that survived scandal, survived criticism, survived another marriage, and now in the wake of unimaginable tragedy, this love has erupted into the public sphere with a force that nobody saw coming. But that is not all. Wait until you hear about the secret that he has been hiding.
The same age. The same age. The same age. By the way, walizaliwa the same time.
Now, here is where this story becomes absolutely extraordinary. Despite the separation between Prophet Kanyari and Betty Bayo years ago, despite Betty Bayo marrying a man named Hiram Gitau, popularly known as Tash, despite all the water that flowed under the bridge, Prophet Kanyari stood before his congregation and made a confession that stunned everyone. I loved Betty Bayo dearly, he declared during a church service that would go viral across social media platforms. And even if I remarry, no future wife will receive the same level of love I had for Betty. She was my first wife and she was the one. But wait, there is even more to this story, and trust me, what comes next will blow your mind. Prophet Kanyari didn't just speak about his love, he demonstrated it in a way that has left Kenyans divided. He has revealed that throughout his house, in his office or on his walls, Betty Bayo's pictures still hang, not hidden away in some forgotten drawer, not tucked away in photo albums, but displayed prominently for all others to see. People are wondering why I'm still holding on to Betty Bayo's photo. Kanyari explained in a video that has garnered thousands of views. I am sticking with her forever. I loved her so much and I will love her forever. This is my son and this is my daughter. He literally holds up portraits of Betty Bayo and their children as he speaks. The emotion in his voice is palpable. The pain is real, and this is not a performance. This is a man wrestling with a loss that has fundamentally altered his reality. While arranging the portrait of Betty Bayo and their children in his office, while speaking about his undying love, Kanyari revealed something that has left Kenyans in absolute shock. He has another daughter, a daughter who is the same age as Sky. a daughter that the public knew nothing about. "I have not sired many, but I have 3 children," Kanyari stated, his words carefully chosen and his revelation deliberate. "I have another child who is slightly famous and I vowed to introduce her." Think about the implications of this revelation. The announcement has sparked intense speculation across social media platforms. Who is this mystery daughter? Where has she been all these years? And why is Kanyari choosing this moment in the midst of mourning Betty to reveal her existence? And what does this mean for the narrative of this relationship with Betty Bayo that has played out in the public eye for years? Kanyari has promised to introduce this daughter to the public soon. He has hinted that she has some level of fame, suggesting that perhaps Kenyans have seen her without knowing her true identity. The mystery deepens, the questions multiply, and the nation waits with bated breath for this revelation. But here is what makes this even more complex. This disclosure comes at a time when Pastor Kanyari is fighting for custody of Sky and Danny, his children, with Betty. It comes at a time when he's battling with Tash over who should raise the kids, and it comes at a time when Betty's family is demanding answers about her death, and the timing is, to say the least, explosive. To truly understand the depth of Kanyari's current grief, we must journey back through the complicated history of his relationship with Betty Bayo. Because this is a story that spans years, filled with love, betrayal, controversy, and ultimately an unbreakable bond forged through their children. Kanyari and Betty Bayo's relationship began like many others, with attraction, chemistry, and promises of forever. According to Kanyari, he fulfilled all cultural requirements. He visited Betty Bayo's parents, he paid dowry, and he performed the traditional rites that, in his view, made Betty his legitimate wife. "I had visited her parents, paid dowry, and fulfilled all the requirements to make her my wife," Kanyari insisted during interviews, "and I will never have children with someone I am not married to." But Betty Bayo told a different story. Years later, appearing on the gospel reality show, "Oh Sister," she made a statement that shocked many. "I am not a divorcee," Betty declared. "I was never married. I am in my first marriage with my current husband, Tash." She used a striking analogy to describe her feelings about her past with Pastor Kanyari. "What you don't use, you put in the trash," Betty said, her words cutting deep. "The only people who go back to the trash are mad people." The collapse of their relationship was intertwined with a scandal. In 2014, an expose rocked Kenya's religious community. Questions were raised about Kanyari's so-called miracles, about the legitimacy of his ministry, and about whether faith was being exploited for financial gain. Betty found herself in an impossible position. The public wanted her to answer as a wife, to defend or denounce Kanyari, but as she later explained, "The person I was speaking about was not even in my life." The pressure, the shame, the constant scrutiny took its toll. Betty would later say that in her relationship with Kanyari, emotions died. The celebrity life pressure, the constant judgment, the weight of public expectation crushed whatever love remained between them. For years, they went their separate ways. Betty met Tash during the COVID-19 lockdown. Their connection began through her son, Danny, who had enrolled Tash as a prayer partner. What started as a spiritual friendship blossomed into love. Betty found in Tash what she felt had been missing: understanding, patience, and a willingness to accept the complicated past. But Kanyari never truly moved on. He admitted publicly that he hoped Betty would return to him. He believed she would date around, but eventually come back so they could have their family intact again. He held on to hope, held on to love, and held on to the belief that their story was not finished. And now, with Betty Bayo's death, that hope has transformed into eternal devotion. The love that couldn't survive in life has found immortality in death. Kanyari's refusal to remove Betty Bayo's pictures, his public declarations of eternal love, and his admission that no one could ever replace her, these are not just words. These are the cries of a man who realizes too late what he had, what he has lost, and what can never be reclaimed. As we near the end of this incredible story, we must confront the questions that continue to haunt everyone involved. Questions about Betty's death. Betty's mother had been vocal in her suspicions. She insists that Betty Bayo had no pre-existing health conditions. She questions why the illness progressed so rapidly, why she was not informed earlier, and why the burial seemed rash. Her petition for an official investigation remains pending, hanging over the entire situation like a dark cloud. In the week leading up to her death, Betty sent me a distressing message, Betty's mother revealed. The revelation added another layer of tragedy to an already heartbreaking story. Was Betty isolated in her final days? Did she feel abandoned by her family? Were there warning signs that seemed missed? Betty's mother also made explosive claims about her daughter's marriage to Tash. She suggested that the relationship had been strained and was allegedly ending. Was Betty unhappy? Were there marital problems that contributed to her stress during her illness? Or are these the imaginings of a grieving mother looking for answers where none exists? Kanyari himself has echoed these concerns. He posted an emotional message directed at his deceased ex-wife, asking what led to her death. The post, filled with raw emotion and unanswered question, showed a man desperate for closure, desperate to understand how someone so vibrant, so full of life, could be taken so suddenly. As we close this chapter of a story that is still unfolding, we are left with a portrait of love in the most complicated form. Prophet Kanyari's journey from partners to ex-partners to eternal mourner is a reminder that the human heart refuses to follow neat narratives. Love doesn't always end when relationships do, and connections forged through children transcend new marriages, new partners, and new lives. This is not just a celebrity story, this is a human story, a story about love that survives separation, about grief that refuses to be contained, and about children caught between worlds, about secrets revealed in the aftermath of a tragedy, and about a man trying to honor a woman who, in life, he may have failed, but in death, he is determined never to forget. The shocking details have been revealed, the confessions have been made, and Kenya will never look at Prophet Kanyari the same way again. Thank you for staying with me through this incredible journey, and if this story moved you, if it shocked you, and if it made you think different about love, loss, and complexity of human relationships, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, because stories like this remind us that behind every headline there is a heart that is breaking.